Sherwood, and I will be giving a presentation on Lady Gaga. And before I get started, I just want to ask the class, as a sort of raise of hands, how many people in the past 1 or 2 days have heard Lady Gaga on the radio? Yeah, so that's what I thought. She is a rising pop icon in our culture today, and all of us as young adults, as young college students, we do have somewhat of a responsibility to be a little bit, at least some amount of familiar with our pop culture today. So my goal here today is to inform you all of the background and overall musical and fashion style of recent pop star sensation Lady Gaga. So, and a few points that I'll be pointing out is I'm just going to first give a brief background and then give a quick analysis of her work. We're going to kind of get more in depth and then get a little bit on the fashion, her really boring fashion. So, before I get into her career though, I just want to talk a little bit about her history. She, in her adolescence and early childhood, she was definitely influenced to mold her into the icon that she is today, and her parents were a great influence in this. By the age of 4, she was already learning to play the piano, and then by 13, she had actually written her own ballad. The next year, when she turned 14, she was actually performing that ballad as well as many others in many well-known New York City clubs. By the time she was 17, she was one of 20 people in the state of New York, one of 20 people, period, to be accepted early into the Tisch School of the Arts at NYU. However, her career, 3 years later, by the time she was about 20, her career was moving so fast that she had to actually drop out of school. By that time, she was actually writing ballads for Pussycat Dolls and Britney Spears. Many of you guys know the album, or the single Circus, was actually written by Lady Gaga. Now that you know a little bit more about her background, we're going to talk. First, she had her first album come out in August of 2008 called The Fame, and then in November of 2009, The Fame Monster came out. In The Fame, her ongoing theme was this sort of complication between love and fame. She was very torn between whether she wanted to live a life of glamour or, a life of love. This is definitely depicted in that Love Game on the picture on the right. That's actually a picture taken from the video, and she's actually scantily clad between 2 rather naked men, and she is also very naked herself. There's actually buzzed onto their heads love. One is love and one is fame. So that's a very symbolic way of showing that she is torn. She also gave a very noteworthy performance at the VMAs, where she performed her single Paparazzi, also from The Fame, where she is literally taken as a sacrifice to fame. And that leads me into my next point of the Bad Romance video. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Her Bad Romance is her most recent #1 single. Something I just want to point out that shows the symbolism in her work. In this video, she's seen, for the first about half of the video, she's seen in all white, until the fire sacrificial scene, the sacrifice scene where she is actually presenting a sacrifice to the fame industry to be inducted. And then this is seen through the symbolic of her being all in red after that. And this is to symbolize her initiation into the music industry, which she is pretty gaga over. Another thing to point out of interest in that video is that there are 2 positioned gazelle heads that they kind of, like that video shoot there on the right really captures it. Those are actually to symbolize Baphomet, which is the horned idol of Western occultism, which I got from vigilanttcitizen.com. If you want to read that article, it's really good on the symbolism in the Bad Romance video. All right, now that you know a little bit more about her career, we're going to go into her fashion, something that she is probably most well known for. I do want to point out a quote, though, that she said on the Ellen DeGeneres show. Let me just get it real here. She said that on her fashion, I want to create a space for my fans where they can feel free and they can celebrate, because I didn't fit in high school and I felt like a freak. I like to create this atmosphere for my fans where they feel like they have a freak in me to hang out with and they don't feel alone. And these are just some visual portrayals of her, just a few of her wardrobe choices. Usually they are designed by a famous designer, and I listed the designers with the according outfits here, but also she does design a lot of her own clothes, so. All right. Now that you know that her clothes aren't pulled out of a dumpster from NASA, we can conclude things here. Like I said, after giving a background, I talked about her work, a more analytical view of it. and then also a quick recap on her fashion choices and also her intentions with her fashion, that it's not just to shock people. And to conclude, I just want to say, next time you guys are in the car and you hear Lady Gaga on the radio, you can tell your friends that, hey, I know a little bit more about pop culture now. So thank you very much.